Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the backstory. If you're new here, kindly hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified when we post a new video. Now ladies and gentlemen, last week Raila Odinga informed Kenyans and Africa at large of his interest for AU top job, and immediately after that he received support and commendations from both local and international personalities. Locally, he received commendations from Azimio-affiliated leaders and UDA-affiliated leaders as well. But the most interesting thing here is that majority of UDA-affiliated leaders came out to support Raila, and Kenyans are asking why. With the latest being Nandi Senator Cherargei and Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah.
Kusema ya kwamba vile umesikia sasa kiongozi wa Azimio anataka kuwa mwenyekiti wa AU, sisi tunamwomba Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta awache kusponsor aliyekuwa rais wa Tanzania Mheshimiwa Mrisho Kikwete baba sana, na tunafikiri hii kiti itasaidia yeye aendelee kupumzika na afanye kazi kwa nchi ya Afrika. So we are aware kuna watu wanamdanganya aliyekuwa rais wa Tanzania Jakaya kwa hiyo kitu ya AU itasimama, hata watasimamisha yeye. Tunajua Uhuru Kenyatta hajapona tangu tumshinde 2022. Tunamuuliza kwa heshima, vile Kenya yote imekubali kwa baba Raila Odinga akuwe mwenyekiti wa AU, sasa yeye mwenyewe sasa awache kutumia vigaragosi kama aliyekuwa rais wa Tanzania. Ndio Kenya to present one candidate East Africa, tuweze kuchukua hiyo kiti, ndio tuende mbele. Na sasa unajua baba anapojitayarisha sasa kuomba hiyo kiti haitaombwa na chama cha ODM ama Azimio, itaombwa na serikali.
Whenever any Kenyan applies for a job or is nominated for a job anywhere in the world, that Kenyan is viewed as a Kenyan. The former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, in his rightful place as a Kenyan, if he has offered himself for an international job, the people of Kenya are obligated to support Raila Odinga as a Kenyan. He's not going to the AU as leader of ODM or a member of ODM. He's going to AU, or he has put his bid to be nominated for a position in AU as a Kenyan. And we shall treat the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga as a Kenyan and support his bid as a Kenyan.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, those are two top UDA-affiliated leaders who are very close to President William Ruto. And for them to show support to Raila Odinga publicly, it shows that William Ruto as well is pro Raila going for the AU top job. But the question is, why are they so much enthusiastic about Raila's leaving the local political scene and going for the AU top job? Now, 2 or 3 or 4 issues come to mind. One is the fact that Raila has been a thorn in the flesh for UDA top echelons. And for Raila to leave local politics and join AU top job, it means that Raila will not actively participate in local politics, and that will give William Ruto and his close associates a breather in politics locally. Because look at it, Raila is the only politician who can take on William Ruto head on. Because Raila has a fanatical kind of support that any presidential candidate or any president is always afraid of. Look at how when Raila called for maandamano, how people turned up all over the country. And Raila's support is not only in Western, it is in Nairobi, it is in almost all these major cities in the country. So whenever Raila speaks, so many Kenyans take his statement as the truth and nothing but the truth. So William Ruto, in wanting to govern Kenya smoothly without interference, he will be very happy to see Raila leave local politics and join AU top job. That is one reason. Now, the second issue is the fact that William Ruto heading to 2027 knows very well that he will not have delivered majority of the promises that he gave to Kenyans, and more so his stronghold, Central Kenya. And he knows that Central Kenya right now is not sitting pretty well for him. So he cannot rely on them heading into 2027. So in his calculation and together with his handlers, William Ruto would want a situation whereby he can easily inherit Raila's strongholds, political strongholds. And these strongholds are Western, Nyanza, Coast, in some parts of Nairobi. For him to inherit Raila's stronghold, William Ruto is praying, and I know he will support Raila's bid so that he can take advantage of his win and take credit for Raila's win. So that when he goes out there during campaigns, he will use that to endear himself to Raila's backyard or Raila's political stronghold, which is Nyanza. So this will help him in a way that if he loses Central Kenya, then he will have a backup in Raila's stronghold, which is Nyanza and Western. So that is why UDA affiliated leaders are also enthusiastic about this, and they would want Raila to win this position as compared to what other people are saying that Uhuru Kenyatta is also interested in the same. Because Uhuru's win will not have a political impact, a positive political impact on Ruto's bid in 2027. So Raila will have given him some space so that he can maneuver politically. Now, the third issue is the fact that Ruto sees Raila as a serious competitor heading to 2027. And if Raila decides to vie again in 2027 with a strong backing of his strongholds, and due to the fact that Ruto shall have not fulfilled some of the promises, going by the backlash that is receiving whenever he goes on campaigns that he has dubbed as development tours, it shows him very well, and I think he knows and is monitored, and he knows that Kenyans are not supporting him due to the fact that the high cost of living is hitting onto Kenyans, taxations, and then unfulfilled promises. So if Raila vies in 2027, he can win against Ruto. Remember, Ruto did beat Raila by over 200,000 votes by a very small margin. That small margin was due to the fact that there was low voter turnout in Raila's strongholds, like areas like Western and Coast and Nyanza. So if Raila can re-energize and mobilize his strongholds, then that margin of 200,000 votes, and the fact that Central Kenya is not as energized and as enthusiastic as they were during 2022 campaigns, then if Raila vies in 2027, Raila can beat Ruto, and that is what Ruto fears. So Ruto wants a situation whereby Raila moves out of the political scene and leaves him with a weaker candidate. And these weaker candidates, even if you have a strong candidate, all these Azimio affiliated leaders who are also yearning for the leadership in 2027, they can only be strong leaders if they are supported by Raila Odinga. Because all these Azimio affiliated leaders, let's take for example Kalonzo Musyoka and Eugene Wamalwa and whoever will be endorsed by Azimio in 2027, if they don't have the political backing of Raila Odinga, that is, if Raila does not campaign for them, I don't see them emerging as very serious threats politically to William Ruto. So a move of Raila from the political scene from the local political scene to AU will be a plus to William Ruto. So he's the is the beneficiary in all this. And this is why they are pushing so much so that Raila can move out of the local politics. Even though they are Azimio affiliated leaders who are talking about Raila still having a chance of vying in 2027. I have heard Siaya Governor James Orengo talking about the fact that Raila can still vie in 2027 even if he gets the AU top job.
James Orengo, who is a member of the Orange Democratic Movement and as a member of Azimio and as governor of Siaya County, I fully endorse the candidature of Raila Amolo Odinga to become the chairman of the AU Commission. And I'm saying Raila has got vast experience. Raila has impeccable credentials. And Raila has a great vision for Africa. Africa will have a powerful voice in the name of Raila Amolo Odinga. And Raila will assist Africa to come out with a blueprint that will bring prosperity to Africa and positive transformation of the people of Africa. Raila has participated in peacemaking processes in Cote d'Ivoire, in Mozambique and many places. He'll be a voice for peace in Africa. But more importantly, I hope that the big voice that Raila is going to have and has, he will campaign so that Africa gets a seat, a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. With Raila, it can be done. With Raila, nyalore, nyalore, kozok nyalore. And I want to remove any doubt for any doubting Thomases that Raila's rights under the Constitution have not been suspended. He has a right to participate in the political affairs of Kenya, both as a citizen and as a patriot. And ODM, the party that Raila leads, Raila has made it a nationwide machine from coast to the lake, from Turkana to Lungalunga. So we know that ODM will survive not in this century, but will continue to be one of the most important and influential parties in Kenya, if not in Africa.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is Siaya Governor James Orengo telling us that Raila can still vie, which I don't think, because if Raila gets that that position, which ideally he should, if he was to be elected, then he is to be elected in 2025, and then he's supposed to serve for 4 years. So if you do that math, it will get you to around late 2028. And our elections are coming in or are due in 2027. So Raila, I don't think if he will resign, if he gets that job, he will resign and then come back and vie for the presidency. And if he doesn't do that, then William Ruto will be assured of a clean and a clear path to a second term. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that has elicited a lot of reactions, both positive and negative. There are some people within Azimio who feel like Raila has let them down. It was in today's newspaper where some leaders have said that Raila should have contacted them, which I don't think is a good idea, because whenever you're doing something as a politician, remember in politics, interest is key. If you have a common interest, that is where you lean to. And remember, if these guys are not happy about it right now, what if Raila told them about it before even declaring his interest? These are the same guys who would have dissuaded Raila not to go for that position. Then there are also positive comments from Jubilee affiliated leaders, which points to the fact that the government is kind of positive about this, and then it For him to get this position, he will need resources, he will have to be financed so that he can do kind of a shuttle diplomacy, meeting different heads of states within Africa to try and convince them to support his bid for this job. So now, ladies and gentlemen, we shall continue monitoring the political scene as we head into 2025, as Raila is going to go for that position. And should there be any new developments, we shall keep you posted. So keep it here. If you're new here, kindly hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified when we post a new video. Until next time, bye-bye.